Hey everybody. So I got accepted to University of Pittsburgh, and so I wanted to talk to you about getting um, trying to get accepted to a master's program. So I'm gonna start like how I started. So you know, I didn't have no clue or program doesn't really bachelor's degree program that I was in didn't really talk about like applying for masters. Um, so I was really confused about everything. I would ask people, and it seemed like everybody had no clue, like what to do and stuff. So immediately, what I did was I googled the top SLP programs in the nation, and University of Pittsburgh was the first school I looked at. Um, so one thing that I did um, that you know is look at their program. Like if you're gonna apply, you should actually look into the school and what they offer. Don't just try to apply to a school just because. So when I looked at the program, I saw that they have an AAC, which is Augmentative Alternative Communications concentration, which I would like to do my maybe a thesis in the future, um, and work around AAC because that's my background um, of what I enjoy. So if you find like something that you enjoy, you know, stuttering, dysphagia, you know, the adult population, kids population, you got to check the school if they offer any of that, and that's geared more to what you want to do, bilingual stuff like that. Anyways, so I was very interested in Pittsburgh, but I'm not gonna lie, it was in my first top school to apply at. Um, I would like to be able to apply to maybe a school near. That's what I actually want to do is to apply to a school near or my house, California. But um, I heard that it's really hard to get accepted. Um, I had a low GPA, to be honest. My GPA was a 3.4 or something. I was always a B student. My whole cohort in my bachelor's, I just got B's, which really sucks. I know that I did put a lot of work. My fellow colleagues could say that I did work a lot. Maybe I'm not the smartest, but I really put the effort to learn and to progress. Anyways, that's a different tangent. But since I knew I had a low GPA, um, I would not look at school programs for my master's that would only accept higher than 3.5 or whatever. So I started looking around my second school. So okay, so I was gonna apply to a bunch of schools, right? One thing is they're really expensive, so I'll start saving up for the applications. Each application is around like $100 to $200. So I was set on having two options for sure. One option was a top school, which was University of Pittsburgh, and then the second option was an online option to do your master's online. With COVID and all that. So I was like, if I want to choose to do it online, maybe I should just do that. So I looked into I think I used Asha.ed Fine. Um, so I was just looking online. No, I'm like I used Sitska, which is the application website that we use for SLP Masters, where it has all the schools and stuff that use that program. And I used it and I tried to look for an online master's program, and I found University of Nebraska. So that was my second school that I, was interested in. And then I wanted to have the option to be able to apply to a school, not necessarily in California, but close to California, so like Arizona. Um, I chose two schools in Arizona. Well, first I chose Northern Arizona. It looked the most, beautiful from all the Arizona schools, and already there I'm making a mistake by, you know, being superficial. Not, I mean, is that the right term? I don't know, but like just trying to find a school to have fun and like do all this stuff. Because I felt like if I go to school in Arizona, that's where I'm gonna end up probably living, buying a house and stuff. So I was like, oh, I want to live like that. It's awesome weather, you know, lots of things to do there. Um, and so, yeah, so Northern Arizona was the next school on my list. And then I wanted to apply to another um, Arizona school, so I just looked around in Sitka, um, and I saw University of Arizona that is the top six school, um, which in the nation. Which I was like, oh man, I, I should try to apply it. And they have like a bilingual certification program for SLPs there, um, which I later learned it's not really necessary. But as long as you're fluent in Spanish, I don't think you need a certification to say you're bilingual, I guess. But anyways, that's another tangent. But so I already have University of Pittsburgh, University of Nebraska, Northern Arizona, University of Arizona, and sorry for the dogs. And then so let's see. Okay, so because I had those four, I was just gonna like, focus on that. So I already started applying. I started like looking at what their criteria were. University of Pittsburgh was like 10 essays that I had to write, short essays, but still that's a lot. And they had like questions, like random questions. Not really random, but it's like I had to really, focus on writing something different. Or not, I can't just copy and paste from my letter of intent. Excuse me. So, um, so yeah. So I started like writing down the questions and then we try to brainstorm how to answer these questions. And I started doing this, I would say around August because we were gonna finish in December. So I was already a couple months, out. Already. There's so much to talk about. So yeah, so that was that. Um, the University of Nebraska, their requirements were to write a letter of intent, and to make a short video answering a question about, um, what's the future for SLP, something like that. But if you look at my channel, you can see a video that I did for Nebraska. It's kind of embarrassing, but yeah. And then let's see. Yeah, and so University of Arizona wanted letter recommendations. They had their own portal. They use Cisco, but they had their own portal, and in their portal they wanted letter recommendations and letter of intent. So it's kind of basic. Oh, let me go back. So University of Nebraska um, also asked for the GRE, and that GRE, no other school that I've come across asked for it. So I was like, I have to actually do this, do the GRE, which I tried not to. I don't want to, but I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna apply to an online school, this is my only real option here. I didn't find any other ones that I liked, so I was like, I'm gonna do it. I only had a couple months to study, which is something bad too. But So another thing was, um, I uh, I joined a lot. I signed up a lot for the open houses, virtual open houses. So you would talk to like advisors about like the program, stuff like that. For the majority of all the schools, they all had open houses. So for the University of Pittsburgh was my first open house that I joined, and it was concentrated on SLP. So I saw a lot of SLP staff there, faculty from the program, and one thing I advise you to do is like always ask questions. Like even if and you can't think of anything or you don't know anything, like try to write a question before you actually join the session, and that makes you like stand out. I don't know if it did or not, to be honest, made me stand out or not, but I asked questions. Sometimes I was like, man, this question looks undone. But in reality, people are gonna ask. Sometimes they do, they ask dumber questions, so it's not that bad. And nobody's gonna remember you. Not at least not the kids, the other students. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna join. I'm gonna ask their EC program, like that I am interested, like what I have to offer, um, like my interests and stuff. That's what I want to do. So when I did, I think I got the attention of the advisor of the program. She was like answering all my questions, and then she gave me her email, and so you know, I so we ended the virtual out on the virtual open house, and then I joined another one next the 2 weeks following 2 weeks. Joined another virtual the same. It was the same thing, but different time, and I think I'm the only student that actually probably did that. I have more questions that I wanted to ask, so I asked them there, and yeah, so man, this video is gonna be pretty long to be honest. Another thing was Sitska would ask for letter recommendations. I didn't start this process until I actually started this process early on the year. So like every semester that I had with the professors, I would ask every single one of them. We had 4 classes, 4 to 5 classes each semester. I would ask all of them, can I have a letter of recommendation? Um, and you know, because I knew that not all the professors are gonna write to you. Actually, one of the professors that I that she said she would be willing to help. I'm not gonna say her name, but ghosted me, like completely ghosted me, and I was like, what did I do? Um, which is weird. Probably hates me, but I asked my other classmates, like, hey, did she ever answer to you? Did she ever write your letter of recommendation? Yeah, yeah. So there's those situations, so you gotta ask all your professors, every single one, even if you don't know them that well, or you didn't interact with them that well, just ask them. You get a Even if you have a B in that class, ask them. Um, and a couple of them answered me back. I'm not gonna lie to you. I expected like more than what I got. I got like probably like 3 teachers that said they would, which is kind of really disappointing to be honest. But anyways, that's another thing that I'm not to worry about no more. So I got 3 letters of recommendations, I would say, from my bachelor's program, which you only need 3. Um, and then when I also was in this assistive technology course for another school and another university, um, and the professors there that actually wrote me letters of recommendations as well. So I had like 5 letters of recommendations. Not that it matters, to be honest, because I don't think that mattered. having so many. Um, so yeah, just start early. Ask all your professors, even if you don't know them that well. Um, let's see. So, oh yeah. So back to the open house. So when I went to the open house in northern Arizona, they it wasn't like concentrate like it wasn't made for SLPs necessarily. It was like an open house to the whole school. Like you could have been an engineer student and you were there. It wasn't like focused on the specific department. So they're just doing like a kind of like a going over the school and stuff. And they talked about this region tuition. Apparently, that the United States, is divided into like three regions. So there's the eastern part of the United States, there's a mid part of the United States, and there's the west part of the United States. So like all these regions have a treaty, like a school tuition treaty, where if you apply for this grant or this program, they will help you pay tuition as if you were an in-state student. So let's say um, if you're from California, you're going to um, Arizona's close here. Let me try to remember what it was called. So yeah, so like they had one with Northern Arizona, but when I went to the to also it's Western Regional Graduate Program, WRGP. So when I went to that website, I saw Northern Arizona, but the only thing was it didn't offer the SLP program, master's program, in their WRGP program. So I was like, well, why am I even applying to this school? And it was already too late because I already submitted my all my stuff, and I was like, like it sucks that I should have just used that money and that time that I did spend on that to another school. Anyways, so if you're applying, I recommend you look into that, you know, that grant, um, and do your research. So when I did look into that grant, it had the University of Idaho um, with that program. So I was like, oh my God, this is a good opportunity. I love Idaho from what I've seen on pictures and stuff, and like I really want to. I would like to move there, so I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna apply here, this and that. I was actually my number one school, to be honest, like that I really wanted to do. So, anyways, okay, so another thing. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you about my acceptance and my rejections because I got rejected. Of course, I got accepted to the first school that reached out to me. I'm already sweating. Boob sweat. It's the University of Pittsburgh. They accepted me around uh, March 4th. I want to say, yeah, March 4th. And I was following a lot the Grad Cafe, which is an online forum where people post like when they get accepted, rejected, or waitlisted. And I would like follow that religiously. And I was like, I saw a lot of people getting accepted to Northern Arizona, University of Arizona, and I was like, why am I not getting any information yet? You know, and then so University of Pittsburgh was the first one to send me an acceptance letter through email, and I was like super happy. I was like, yeah, dude, this is a top three, ranked three school in the nation where it was like my long shot uh, application. I was like, dude, I'm not gonna get accepted here, but here I'm gonna try it. And yeah, I got accepted, so I'm like super happy. but I'm also gonna tell you about my disappointments. So yeah, so I started looking at the grad cafe, and I was like, what? Everybody's getting accepted to University of Arizona, University of Northern Arizona. I even saw University of Idaho. I was like, oh my god, well, I feel like I'm gonna get rejected. And yep. But then I saw University of Nebraska. Apparently, somebody said posted on there like, "Hey, like that they got accepted." And like, they didn't notify me, but you have to go into the portal, into the website, into their website's portal, the school's portal, to check. And I was like, "Oh shoot!" So I checked, and I got accepted to University of Nebraska too for their online program. And I was like, "Oh my god, just that's two acceptance already!" Like I'm super happy. Um, but there's other reasons why I'm not leaning towards University of Nebraska, which maybe I should make another video about it. But let me know if you guys are interested in that. Yeah, not to hurry up. Uh, yeah. So then I got waitlisted in University of Idaho, which doesn't mean that I got rejected, but you know. A thing about University of Idaho's waitlist is that they will send second round letters on April 16th, after April 16th, and University of Pittsburgh has their deadline to get us to accept your acceptance on April 15th. So why am I gonna say no to University of Pittsburgh when they want me there, and wait for hopefully Idaho to say, yeah, you could get in. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Sorry, Idaho. Um, yeah, I'm actually gonna make two videos because this one's kind of getting too long. Um, so yeah, University of Pittsburgh. Hail to Pitt.